Traders, we're going to take a look at this previous week's trade ideas sent to VIP. What I've done is I've transferred the entry, stop loss and TP from MT4 into Tradingview so that we can come back in here and go over the trades. Starting from top down here, Aussie CAD, we just run from the list top to bottom. This was opened through the London session. This was the Asia close, and we entered at this point. As we were approaching the New York Open, this hadn't moved all through the London session into the New York Open, and we were approaching New York. And given the reluctance for this to move anywhere, I decided to shut it down. Friday trading is the worst day of the week, so I preferred to mitigate risk and close this trade around break even. As it was, it continued up, but I was happy to let it go. New York happens to be my bedtime. It's pretty late by then, so being Friday, I didn't want to sit up and wait for this. We opened a Bitcoin trade on Friday as well. Let's have a look at that. Just on the lower time frame, we entered based on this chart on the lower time frame, and I was looking for movement south. I took it off this signal here and seeing it breaking, well, that occurred, and then we took the trades short. Now what I did, I pulled the stop loss to break even with this move here. You can see the green dot. So stop loss down to break even. It was a little bit tight. Again, it was Friday. I was just looking for this to drop. In fact, I think I moved the stop loss as it was starting to pull back up in here. And what I was really looking for was this just to roll over at this point and continue down. If it took out the stop at entry, I was willing to let it go. Again, Friday, late in the week, and it was a good move to close this, given the fact that it turned around and went the other way. So that one was closed at break even. Lower time frame, I was looking for a scalp. If we go out, so the next one was the CAD Swiss. This was a trade that carried over from way back. This was the 5th of August. So we've got 2 weeks running here. I think I mentioned this one in my last video actually, and we ended up getting taken out by about a pip on this one. At this point, it could go anywhere. Some of you may still be in this trade given broker differences, so I would hold on to it if you are and just let it play out. CAD Swiss was a similar trade. We had this with the Bank of Japan out of the nowhere raising their interest rates, and it caused panic in the markets. Stock markets crashed, and there was a lot of volatility on the other end of that. This is another trade that we opened 2 weeks ago, and again, same story. I was looking for the continuation, trend continuation. Bank of Japan threw a spanner in the works, and this one got taken out. Euro Aussie, this one I closed. Let's go down the time frame. So we traded this breakout, was running nicely in our favor, and then of course these things happen. Given that we had this range and this displacement, I decided to close this trade in profit here, and that was a good call given the fact that it continued down. Markets have been pretty challenging in the last couple of weeks, especially with this Bank of Japan thing going on. A lot of people got wiped out of the markets with the carry trade. I don't know if you know about that, but borrowing on 0% interest from Japan and then buying assets, risk assets. And then when Japan bumped up their interest rates out of the blue, it caused havoc and mayhem in the markets. A lot of people lost huge sums of money. They were leveraged and were forced to close out, or most of them went into margin territory, and that was the end of it. So on the other end of that, the markets have been incredibly volatile. Generally, I'm a trend continuation trader, preferring the 4-hour time frame for my stops. But when you have volatility like this, you've got to shift gears and move more into day trading, scalping. So I started to introduce a few trades to counter these ones that, like the CAD Yen and the CAD Swissy, that went against us. And, we came out on top at the end of the week. This is the result this week here. So we had two types of trade ideas. Most of them are in a format that TS Copier can read, and the other ones will be a screenshot or a video. And if you're wondering why there's a mix, again, mostly TSC friendly, as you can see here. This week we had two manual trades. The NAS 100 up here, that was a nice one. And then we had a US 30 trade. It was going well, and then all of a sudden it turned around and went the other way. And we had our stop loss at break even at that point. So that one got taken out of break even. But here are the results down here. So we've held up fairly well through this period of volatility. Moving into next week, I'm going to be looking for more scalping / day trade type of, so we're going to tighten up our stop losses. And during this period of volatility, it's a good idea to avoid holding a trade overnight. So we're just going to see if we can take advantage of some of these moves on the lower time frame. So I think next week's going to be an interesting week. Euro pound's the next one. Again, trend continuation, and I'm looking for the pullback. Okay, here's the pullback, and we took the trade on the break of this level here long. If we tighten up our stops, 15-minute time frame, place your stop in the cloud or under the previous low here. Yeah, I mean, you would have pulled your stop loss to break even at that point. This one did end up rolling over and heading in the other direction. Okay, but we're going to consider more of these 15-minute time frame trades into the coming week. Benefit of that is the risk reward. Okay, here's an example. If we catch one of these, let's say we got onto this pullback here, stop under the low, tight stop, 15-minute time frame, stop loss to break even once this starts moving, and you catch a couple of these and you end up with, I mean, look at this, potentially, a 7R outcome. You'll do well. Now, the thing with this type of trading is you're most likely going to lose more than usual, but the ones that you come out on top with usually have a pretty good reward factor. Right? So that will be something to consider into the coming week. Okay, Euro Kiwi was the next one. Just trading this downtrend here. I was looking for continuation with this move, and then we were heading into Kiwi high impact news event, and I ended up shutting this one down prior to the event, slightly in the money. Managing trades is a bit of a juggling act at the best of times. We had a couple of euro dollar trades. This was taken through the Asian session. You'll see a slight difference between the entry price and this candle here. That's due to the fact that the actual price was taken off my MT4, and that's what you see in VIP, okay, 09442. Difference in broker, you see a little bit of a gap here. Okay, so that's just why this is slightly different. In any case, through the Asia session, we were heading into, this is the London Open, and I wasn't sure whether, given that we'd already rallied through Asia, that we might see this pull right back into London. So I decided to secure profits, and I closed this trade here. And as it was, it traded north, and then did that and did what it did. But at least we secured 1R on this one. There was another euro dollar trade further into the week. Opened at the start of the London session here, trading a breakout. All through London, it did that. It wasn't performing, and I decided to shut it down at break even. So this one was closed pretty well same day on August the 14th. Okay, it hadn't really done anything. I shut it down. Slightly better than break even as it was. It went the other way. Okay, so we let that one go. Okay, pound Aussie, next one. Looking for continuation here. We took this trade and ended up closing it into high impact data release. Could have gone either way here. I was hoping for some movement north after we took the trade. This is an hourly chart, so yeah, a few hours later, of course. Closing it down into data release, news event at break even. Pound CAD, we opened this one into the London Open Friday. I generally don't like to trade Fridays, but we did this week. I ended up closing it here into the New York Open. I wasn't sure whether this was going to pull back, as it was, it did. All right, so we closed it here. And I mentioned earlier, I'm interested in shifting gears next week. With a tighter stop, this would have given us a 2.27. With our wide stop, we came out of it with 0.57, you can see. I want to explain something. We're just going to make a quick divergence. We'll just open up the JXY. This is the Japanese currency index. Go out to a weekly. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the carry trade concept. I'm generally a day/intraday trader, generally speaking. And when, in particular, the Japanese yen is zero interest rates, trading can be incredibly predictable through these periods in time here. We're talking March through to July, okay? We get this stability with the Japanese yen. When this occurs, and more importantly, this, it throws the market into utter chaos and mayhem. So we've seen an incredibly challenging market over the last 2 weeks. It's been a bit of a bumpy ride. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with the carry trade. Bottom line is this is stable, generally stable, the Japanese yen, and I'm a trend continuation trader, generally on the 4-hour time frame, day trade intraday. When something like this happens and it throws the market into chaos, you have to shift gears. I mean, this took everyone by surprise. Okay, they lifted their rates out of nowhere, caused the stock market to crash. People were highly leveraged. There were margin calls all over the place. Okay, a lot of people lost money. And the volatility kicked in big time. It's been a really rocky couple of weeks. So you have to shift gears when this is going on. My way of dealing with this, we had a basket of trades open back down in here that were trend continuation, looking good. And then, of course, that happens. And it threw the whole basket of trades out the window. They all went negative. We had drawdown, and I've had to shift gears through this period and set up trades that would recover any losses from this original basket of trades a couple of weeks back running negative. The result has been pretty good, actually. Okay, last couple of weeks, and you can see the outcome. Okay, this one was heading into it. This is where we got hit with the carry trade incident. These trades here carried over into the current week. A couple got taken out, right, and we're in recovery mode. But, we've done pretty well. There's a mix of trades here. These CF are in a format that TS Copier can read. So they're TS Copier friendly. And these other ones are manual trades, and they'll go in as a screenshot or a video. This week we had 2 manual trades. Previously we had a couple more. There's a reason for the manual trades. I've done a video on it. If you scroll up in the free channel or VIP, you'll come across the video. Watch that and then you'll understand why there are 2 types of trade formats going in. But they're all valid trade ideas, of course. Just one's in a screenshot or a video and the other one's able to be read by TS Copier. But we've come out of these 2 weeks in pretty good shape. Now I'm shifting gears given the volatility that we've been experiencing. This is still in the air, no pun intended, or maybe it was, with a high probability that we're going to see a fair bit of volatility in the coming week. Come back to this pound CAD. I'm going to be looking for more 15-minute time frame setups. In other words, much tighter stop versus, looking for the intraday trades on the 4-hour. And if that's the case, then we're looking at potentially actually getting into some of these early on. And I mean, look at this, for example. So we'll see how we go next week. We'll see if we can find more of these opportunities on the lower time frame. It just depends how the markets shape up. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting week next week. So pound New Zealand was the next one. This was the retrace, and I was looking for this continuation. We took this break, and I moved my stop loss to break even fairly early on this. Sometimes you just get a sense, and that was a good thing to do because the market shifted gears and went the other way, which it's been doing fairly regularly. If you can trade these markets and come out break even or in profit, you can trade through anything. So I'll just move on. We're having a look at the Kiwi CAD. There's a couple more to go. Nice one. Okay, trend continuation here, 1 hour chart. We're heading into data release. We can see these yellow dots. This is previous daily high or low. We've got a red dot on our indicator here, entered here. Okay, so we shut this down into this data release. I was hoping that we'd see a little bit more after entering here, but as it was, that's where we ended up. 1.13R gain on this one. So this was a Kiwi interest rate event that didn't go so well for the Kiwi. A couple more. We've got the US 30. This was overextended, and I was really thinking this could pull back low, high. Well, it did pull back, but not as far as I would have liked. In any case, we took it on the lower time frame here with a fairly tight stop. So this is what I'm going to be looking for next week. More setups like this, 15-minute, fairly tight stops. Okay, we gained 1 hour out of it. Some of you may or may not have closed. I pulled my stop loss to break even on this one. Once we gained ground with it, and as it was, it pulled back into this stop and we got taken out at break even. Just as well because, look at that. So the last one is gold. Yeah, this was overextended. I was looking for more downside with this. I really liked this price action, the range. All right, bit of a spike, but this displacement really caught my eye and I thought, yeah, we'll go short. So we shorted here. That would have been a nice outcome if we'd closed down there. But as it was, it pulled back. Now this one was closed at break even. Stop loss to break even or better. Yeah, slightly better than break even. So it came back into our break even stop. And as it was, it decided to head in the opposite direction. It happens. I sincerely hope you've gained some value from the video, and this is an invite for you to join VIP. The benefits: you gain access to our daily trade ideas, our currency trading course, Foundations for Success. Part of the course are ongoing members-only mentorship videos that are uploaded into our channel, and of course you gain access to our Tradingview indicators. I'm making this available at an incredibly affordable monthly subscription of $29.95. Scroll down this page and on the left you'll see recent results in video format and snapshots of our spreadsheet, history. There's other options here, monthly, 3 monthly, 6 monthly, etc. And if PayPal isn't an option for you, if you click this link down in here, this will take you to this page where there are alternative payment options for you. Once you join, make sure you click this link here and provide me with a couple of important details, and definitely DM me in Telegram. Here's my Telegram ID down the bottom, and let me know your name and email so I can match you with the payment that comes through and speed up the process of enabling full access to VIP. So with that, I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in VIP.